Hello, welcome everyone to Nerds in a Box, episode 10. It is episode 10. Welcome. If you're seeing us for the first time, thank you for joining us. I'm John Dwyer.
Dan Kiefer.
Tessa Barlotta.
Nerds in a Box, we do this every week. We do a podcast on various topics. We've done video games, movies, comic book news, comic book events.
Cosplay stuff.
Thank you,
Yes.
cosplay, thank you. I was like, we've done so much more, but now I'm drawing a blank. So, that's because we're doing a little bit of everything in tonight's episode.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, don't forget about the question at the end.
I will not forget about the question at the end. You're in charge of the question.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
No treasure.
yeah, no pressure.
I heard nose treasure, that was weird.
Nope. So, tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the Avengers trailer, the brand new one that came out. We're going to be talking about Constantine, Super Smash Brothers news, huge news coming out for that. And then we're going to be talking about our fight from yesterday between Bane and Beast.
Yep.
And then finally, we're going to wrap up, do some recommendations, things like that. So, let's get things started right away. The Avengers trailer.
What?
Came out on Wednesday.
It was leaked by Hydra.
It was
Yes.
leaked by Hydra.
Marvel, very smart on their part. They're like, oh man, Hydra leaked our footage. I'm like, that's beautiful. It's just like, it wasn't supposed to come out until what, next week?
It was
And
not
the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode.
Yeah.
Yep, this Tuesday's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which actually, fear not, because they're showing another clip.
Mhm.
They're debuting another clip from Avengers Age of Ultron so that people will still tune in to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hope they do. I know it needs the ratings, especially since now I'm all caught up with it.
Mhm.
So, yes.
Hopefully it'll be featuring more Don Cheadle, Vision, Anthony Mackie.
Oh my goodness. But
Yep.
at the same time, I really want it to be the scene where they all try and pick up Thor's hammer.
I'm okay with that. Yeah,
That'd
I'd
be
love
fun,
that.
yeah.
They all try and compete to see who can pick up Thor's hammer.
But that's the one thing I found really interesting about this trailer is the Vision is nowhere.
Yeah, he's not there
Nowhere
yet.
in it. So I don't know if they haven't finished rendering him
Maybe.
or if they just want to save him for a big reveal later where we're all just like Paul Bettany and I'll just collapse on the floor with joy.
I'm gonna say that one. That's
Mhm.
probably what it is.
They're probably just waiting for you to collapse, you know.
So,
In the olden days, women fainted at the sight of blood. Now they faint at the sight of awesome robots.
yes, exactly. Yes, Paul Bettany is a robot. God, I hope he comes out soon. I really want to know what he does.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was a big thing. It got leaked, and initially they tried to take it down, but then everyone reported it. It's just like, all right, well, we can't stop this one. We might as well just lean into.
Roll with it.
Yeah, we might as well lean into it. The
Mhm.
tilt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
tilt.
Yeah, exactly. So, they released an HD trailer, and it looks beautiful.
Mhm.
A lot of things in that. It's like a 2-minute, 17-second trailer,
Mhm.
so surprisingly long for a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
That is a full length trailer.
Mhm.
I'm not complaining, but there's a lot of elements in it that people are dissecting from the trailers. For instance, at one point, we see Cap walking through a ballroom surrounded by
clearly
people.
1940s.
Yep,
Yeah.
surrounded by people wearing 1940s clothing. A lot of people are wondering if he goes back in time, or if it's a hallucination, or if it's a flashback.
Or if it's Wanda's reality warping powers.
Yep.
Because her powers have such a variety that they can kind of pick and choose what happens with it in especially the cinematic universe.
Mhm. And it's also there's that part with the ballet with Black Widow. Is that her remembering things,
Yep.
or is that another Wanda thing? There's also speculation you were saying about
Yeah.
the shield.
About Captain America's shield, because at one point in the trailer, you see, it pans over and you see Thor's hand, and then right next to it is Cap's shield, and it's broken. It's broken in half, and so people are wondering if that's going to be the link to Wakanda, because for those of you that don't know, Black Panther rules Wakanda. That's where you find the vibranium, and that's what he uses all of his equipment
And
with.
he's the only one who can fix Cap's shield. He's the only one with the knowledge and the resources to do it. So if it actually happens in the movie, they'll have to go to Wakanda, at least at some point.
Exactly.
Which is also the theory of Andy Serkis playing Claw in there.
Yes.
Ulysses Claw, I don't think he starts out with the
No.
thing. But he's a big vibranium expert and tries to steal it from Wakanda
Yep.
several times and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
But going back,
Mm-hmm.
people are wondering if, the Cap Shield with that and the 1940s thing, if this is Wanda, because in the at first, her and Quicksilver are going to be aligned with Ultron, so they're going to be villains. So a lot of people are wondering if she's giving them each, like, their worst nightmare almost, where it's like Cap going to the 1940s dance hall, and, like, maybe he'll see Peggy waiting there, and he's not there, and that's his worst fear, is that, and Tony's is seeing everyone dead at it, because of something that Tony built.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which would be kind of the ultimate thing, because like as much as he rails on Cap, like he grew up with his father talking about Cap, and Cap was his hero, and like Cap's shield being broken on the ground and everybody being dead is like the ultimate screw you to his dreams and what he wanted. And so there's also that. Or it could just be that awful in the movie. So
it could be that bad, yeah.
It could.
I mean, there's also speculation that in the ballerina scene, there's a man at the piano. A lot of people are wondering if that's Baron von Strucker, which would make sense because he also is in control of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So it would make sense if he was there, and maybe if he had ties to Black Widow. Maybe that's the red in her ledger she's talking about from the first Avengers. We don't really know. And
then there's that one scene, we were trying to figure this out earlier, because it's when that first Iron Man piece starts to come alive, and there's a close-up shot, but then there's a backup one, and there's two women. You can see Natasha, and then there's two other women who you can't really tell who they are, and so we're wondering if that's like Maria Hill and Wanda, or if that's two other characters that they just haven't announced.
Yeah,
two female characters.
Is that Carol Danvers in there? Somebody tell me now before I faint. But it's probably not. It's probably like Maria and somebody else that we already know, but. And it's not Natalie Portman because she's so tiny that you could tell if it was her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And there's also been literally no talk of her being in the movie at all.
So, and it's not even listed on IMDb, so it might just be like crazy hush-hush right now, whoever they are.
I do kind of wish you could be in one of the movies, in one of the Avengers movies, because I'm tired of it being like, oh, we hit her. And then, like, they deal with that in, like, Thor 3. Like, ugh.
I mean, I see her, like I mentioned before, being in one of the Guardians movies. Like, I could imagine them starting, like, they introduce swords somehow somewhere else, and then, for some reason or another, the Guardians decide to come to Earth. But they're greeted by sword. Exactly.
That'd be interesting.
Awesome.
Huh.
And I would love if we ever get Abigail Brand, her and Natalie Portman would butt
maybe
heads like
maybe one of those people is Abigail Brand.
That's also true. There's a lot of speculation for it.
I'm fine with any of these outcomes.
I know. We're fine with like all
maybe
of
they're
these.
just two random people that don't matter.
Also, good on Disney and Marvel for incorporating Pinocchio's "I've Got No Strings."
That was so
Well,
creepy.
see, I thought it was just
super
the
creepy.
line, but Dan pointed out the song is actually in the
Super creepy.
It plays through at the beginning, then there's a pause before the final line, and that's when Hulkbuster gets revealed. All of the action really starts.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, I've got no strings on me. I was like, oh.
Which also is like, why is the Hulk on a rampage after he joined the team? Is it Wanda messing with him and Iron Man fights back, and then there's that shot with Scarlet and him with the hands, and I was like, is Scarlet the one to bring him out of it? Because that would be done with so much stuff.
That'd be
so
cool.
much stuff.
Well, they really brought that in when she brought the Hulk in the first place.
Yep.
So they're already playing off that connection. I think they're going to bring it back.
I hope so. I want somebody to just not be afraid of him for once. I want somebody to just be like, will you calm down? Will you just stop and scold him like a child? And I want him to see him just
Is he gonna... is he... I wonder if, we're talking about... We don't even know what this is going to happen, all these hallucinations. I'm wondering if she's going to, cause Bruce to see, Natasha die in a hallucination, and so that's why he's stumbling through the forest, maybe, and he's, falling down. Maybe that's when he's turning into the Hulk. I don't know. Because we see a lot of shots of Bruce in the trailer,
very
looking like introverted.
He's shaken by what he's done.
Yeah, he's about to, I'm wondering if maybe he injures Cap, because there's a shot where a car is coming at Cap, and he jumps, but we don't know if he gets hit by it or if he dodges it. So you say he jumps over it,
It's like Tessa and I are like, he jumps over. He's Captain America.
but we don't know.
We don't.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true. And that might be in the same fight where he's fighting Hulkbuster. Because
It is.
remember,
It is the card.
Okay, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know for
Different
sure,
card.
but like,
It looks
yeah,
like it.
they have the same card. Like he's throwing cars, punching
Yeah.
them, things like that. It makes sense.
So
There's also like because we see Rhodey in the trailer, but also Falcon's in this trailer, and so is not in the trailer in the movie. Falcon's in the movie, and so is Agent Triplet from Agents of Shield. Is also going to be in the movie,
Yeah.
and we don't see any of them yet either. So it's also like,
What
are they
are they
coming
gonna
in
do?
for
Yeah.
the last battle, or what's gonna how do we rope them in, or maybe Falcon's off trying to keep up Cap's work with Bucky, and Cap's like finally like, nope, need you over here.
I need you right now.
yeah.
You have to. This is more important than Bucky right now.
But we don't even know where that's gonna lead.
Mm-hmm. And I love that Sam Jackson's back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Fury's
course.
back.
Of course.
Yep.
So don't know. I want to see him part of the last battle too. Just I don't know, flying a jet or just maybe standing in the middle somewhere with some guns.
I just want Coulson back. I just want him to come back.
Well, that would be its own like epic scene of everyone freaking out. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Avengers 3.
Probably.
Yeah.
How ridiculous would it be if they used him instead of Peter Parker for Civil War?
Coulson? They wouldn't. I don't see
I
how it
don't
would work.
know. But that would make him a huge target, though, and that would also like Coulson's also always about the team player and supporting the troops, supporting the government, all that stuff. So he might be the one to be like, I am the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm coming on. But he doesn't. Then again, he doesn't have superpowers, though, so it might not count.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that if they do the Civil War storyline, that if they used him, it would be for him to come back and be like, what are you doing? Like, it would be his reveal that got him to be like, why are we fighting over this?
Yeah.
Like, this is dumb.
That's true.
But again,
I'd see that
that's-
way more than
He
that.
that's in
gets
the
them
future.
fighting in the
Yeah.
front, but then
Yeah.
he stops them fighting at the end. Oh my gosh,
Exactly.
Clark Gregg, you prick.
Exactly. Exactly. But that's not even this trailer.
No.
This is 90% speculation.
Yes.
So
We're just really
trailer.
excited.
I feel like I'm missing something in the trailer. I'm missing a lot.
I'm
of
sure
things.
we're missing a lot.
Probably.
There's a lot. Oh God, there's
How
so many
great
robots.
does Hulkbuster look?
Hulkbuster looks
So
awesome.
Great.
And
I love how clearly you can see Tony drop into the suit before it
And how
comes over
tiny
him.
his head is compared
Yeah.
to Hulkbuster head.
yeah,
And
like
Widow dropping out of the thing on the motorcycle.
onto a motorcycle. Yep, that one looks really cool. Hulkbuster looks great.
Oh, amazing.
It seems like they're gonna have a lot of solo-esque things.
Like fights. But
Yeah.
From what I can tell, like there's a team sent to Korea, and that's like Cap and Hawkeye and I think Thor,
Okay.
and then I think the South Africa group is Hulk and Iron Man and Widow. That's what it looks like, and then stuff happens.
Shoot, what was I gonna say? It was about here, Phil Tamil, I think.
Things and stuff.
I know, it's like, we were talking just fine. We were interrupting everybody. It was beautiful.
I know.
And then as
I
soon
love
as we
how
get
much
put on...
Hawkeye's in this trailer. I love how much Hawkeye's in this trailer.
Yeah, no, they're definitely showcasing the fact that each character is going to get their own showcase. Rather than, like, in the last one, it was very much, look at these people come together as a team. Which was beautiful, and I loved it, and that was necessary. However, in this one, they're like, alright, so you guys were complaining a little bit about people not being showcased enough. We're going to showcase everybody the amount that you want.
Well, that was like the number two things was like not enough Banner and Hulk, and well, not enough Hulk really, and then not enough Clint. And so that's what like we saw way more like Clint and the Hulk than I feel like we saw Cap or Iron Man. There's barely, except for the Hulkbuster, there's
Yeah.
not much Iron Man in this movie at all. In the trailer.
Basically,
Yeah.
no Thor.
Yeah. He's in there like twice. I think he drops his hammer and then he comes out of the water shirtless. And that's
He
about all
he
I
chokes
see.
Tony.
That's
Yes,
Chokes
right.
Tony. That's gonna be huge.
That's right.
That's gonna be huge.
Thor always having his complaints about technology.
Yep.
And then technology goes one step too far.
Yep.
Hmm. Speaking of technology, I remember what I was gonna say.
Yes.
A lot of people don't like Ultron's look. People have been
Yeah.
commenting they don't like his look. They think since he has eyebrows, it's too expressive and not true enough to the Ultron in the comics. People want that original form he had, almost like what they had
Well, his creations, from what you can see, seem to look exactly like
Yeah.
it, like the comic ones. But I feel like, I don't know, I kind of liked that he had those eyebrows, because that face he makes, it like, there are no strings on me, that compounded with James Spader's voice, which I never thought would terrify me, but totally did. Like, that was enough to go, oh.
I feel like
We're all gonna die.
if you're going to hire someone like James Spader to do voice acting and motion capture for it, you're gonna have to change it so that way it has more of an effect.
Yeah.
And I think people are really gonna like it in the end. I don't think people will care because if that's something you care about and that breaks the movie for you, then you need to get over yourself. I think.
And especially if somebody's giving a brilliant performance, like there's no reason, like, unless you're like playing V, unless you're Hugo Weaving playing V, you expect to like some form of your face to be there.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you were talking earlier about how they're like Tony really wants to try and kind of like humanize the robots to make people feel more comfortable and stuff. So obviously his biggest creation, which would be Ultron, is going to be more resemblance to a human. Ultron was created a long time ago, like in the comics, so they didn't necessarily put all of that together. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't think it through, but you got to also think time periods. Things change. You need to be able to be okay with that sometimes.
And also, like, in the comics, it was built by Hank Pym, so it's based on an ant's head, is what it's based on. So, of course, it doesn't look human, but it's not Hank Pym building Ultron in this. It's Tony Stark, and Tony Stark will be like, well, I wouldn't trust a robot that looked like that, so I'm going to try and fix him up so maybe he'll look a little more trustworthy, and then...
That's a good point.
We all know how that ends.
Oh, God, yeah. Ugh.
I feel like it's got a horror movie kind of vibe.
I can see that.
With the the Iron Man suit that comes alive and starts walking, and just like all of the darker tone, and it's kind of like a technology monster movie, I guess.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
At least that and not completely, but like an element of that is.
Well, especially with the "I've got no strings" from Pinocchio.
I mean, you're still gonna have that action comedy-esque. Marvel can't lose that.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're not going to do it, but it feels like...
Right, and well, I mean, take Iron Man 3, which I know people have their reservations. I loved it. It definitely had that darker tone. It was like a PTSD movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
For a comic book movie, it's insane. So I love that we're having, like, each movie, even though it still feels like a Marvel movie, still has its own tone.
Yeah.
So that's really great.
That's a good point, too. Yeah. And... the other big piece of news along with that trailer was the fact that because it was leaked, we've got, like we said earlier, they've got a new clip that they're showing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then on Tuesday, Marvel Studios is going to make an announcement. We don't know what it is. It could be something as small as confirming that Robert Downey Jr. and is going to be in Cat 3 and it's going to be a Civil War storyline, to something like it could be announcing who Doctor Strange is, or it could be something huge as to reveal the movies that they have until 2020.
Yeah, like their slate, just like DC did.
Yeah, which would be so cool.
Or it could be all of those things.
I feel like that's a little greedy.
Tessa, breathe.
I'll take...
But I've wanted it all for so long.
I would just love the slate to know what we have.
And just, confirmation that there's actually going to be a Black Panther movie and a Captain Marvel movie.
I feel
and
like...
even that way, I think they would confirm a Civil War if they gave the titles to
I feel like they have to have at least a Captain Marvel or a Black Panther movie, especially since DC came out and they have the Wonder Woman movie and they've got Cyborg and potentially... Green Lantern with Jon Stewart as solo films. So they have one female movie, a movie based around female. Then they have up to two...
Well, three technically if you include Aquaman.
True, good point. So they have up to 3 person of color movies. And a lot of people, instead of being like, way to go DC, we're like, Marvel, why aren't you doing that? Which is really interesting.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't feel like... as much as I would love those movies to happen, I don't think they need to.
I think they do.
Simply because when they've already stated that they're going to try and create a new Avengers team after this one, if you name off the Avengers, like, you're going to have Scarlet Witch in there. She's probably going to have, like, she might have a solo movie, or she might just be a big part of the next Avengers team. If you name off a lot of the Avengers, the next ones that you're going to be naming are most likely either people of color or females.
True.
So whether or not they have those solo movies, they're going to be incorporating a lot more characters into these future films. That's the only reason I'm not like, they need to, because they're already on a path that potentially leads to them having those characters added in.
I hear you, but I also think that they need to now that DC has thrown down the gauntlet.
Also, they might do an interesting thing too, because they seem to be going back and forth challenging each other. And Wonder Woman's in what, 2017? And there's at least one that's untitled in 2017 that could be a Captain Marvel movie. Just to be like, our woman against your woman, go.
Yeah.
I think they have to at least, when they announce those movies, they have to at least have a Black Widow movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have to have that.
Mhm.
And if they don't have any other, like, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, they need to have a Black Widow movie, or else
long overdue for one.
everyone now, that's been the new thing, is that, like, people were like, we want Black Panther, we want Captain Marvel, and then it's like, but we want a Black Widow movie, especially after Cap 2, and then Lucy, and especially after Scarlett Johansson's solo film did really well at the box office. Everyone's like, she can carry her own, put her in a movie, in her own movie. So I think they need to, especially now that they're challenged by DC.
The Red Room is such a rich backstory.
Yes.
The Red Room is insane.
There's a
You could
lot
totally
there.
make a movie out of that.
There's a lot there.
So it's just too many reasons to do it as not to.
The tricky thing with Marvel, too, is like, I wouldn't put out a full slate if I were them, simply because they have to deal with getting rights from other people to see what all they can include and what all they can incorporate. Because if they can get the rights to, like, the Fantastic Four or Spider-Man, or who's another one that they don't have?
X-Men.
Yeah, the X-Men. Then they can play with a lot more things. I
And
mean, they
also-
have enough that they can do solo movies and fill up the gauntlet, but like I would say go one step at a time, keep like a basic, like a bone structure, and then just like fill in like the flesh and the meat as you go along.
They've been really good about being fluid.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe just setting things down in stone might hamper them. Although the news might be about Spider-Man rights too.
Yeah, that's the other thing it could be about, is Spider-Man.
God, I hope so.
But I don't know if it's that, because I feel like that would have been leaked already.
I don't know.
But
And also, if they get Spider-Man, is it going to be what Andrew Garfield, or is it going to be somebody else?
I like Andrew
Oh
Garfield.
no, I love
I
him,
hope
but like
it's
I don't
him.
know if it'll.
all right, Dan.
Dan.
You want to switch?
Because it's the same thing with the Quicksilver. Like, what's his name? Evan Peters was great as Quicksilver, but they couldn't have the same. I think that was the rule. Like, you can't have the same actor. You have to pick somebody else. So it might be the same. Which again, who's going to be Spider-Man for the Marvel universe? Which opens up a whole other can of worms.
Just make me Tobey Maguire again.
Oh God.
Hey, I'm just saying, everyone thinks that he's awkward, and it's like, good, that's Peter Parker. He's
just
awkward.
a little too old now, isn't he?
No, I agree.
Like,
No,
he was
don't put him as it. Like, he was fine. He wasn't as bad as people make him out to be. Especially when they say he was awkward. It's like, well, yes, that's Peter Parker.
His name is escaping me. Who's playing Barry Allen in Flash right now?
Grant
Grant
Gustin.
Gustin.
Grant Gustin.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Right?
He's
They're
got
it's not
awkward,
going to
he's got the
happen.
gangly.
I was going to
Because
say,
TV show contracts, that won't end up flying.
let alone
Yeah.
DC would not allow that.
I don't know. Well,
They-
they're not as connected as the Marvel stuff, though. It's not as tight.
Maybe, but it's still, since it's a DC property,
I think it's more
I would not be
CW.
surprised if it still has the DC name on it.
Mm.
It's still The Flash.
Yeah.
Regardless, I would not be surprised if DC was just like, no, you cannot be in a Marvel thing. No. So, I don't know.
That'd be great.
But anyways, moving on. Constantine.
Yes.
It premiered Friday night to 4.3 million viewers, which is actually surprisingly good for a Friday at, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, I
On
think it's
NBC?
Yeah.
Like, that's surprisingly good.
Yeah. I'm the only one who's watched it, right?
Yep. I read reviews.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not interested in it.
I'm gonna give it a fair shot, and like I don't read Constantine comics. I don't know, so this is a complete outsider view of. I've seen him through like Trinity War, that comic book. I know him through there, and he was kind of a jerk. But that's really all I know. Just as an outsider view of the show, they didn't have as much money as they wanted. You can tell right off the bat, like the effects aren't even for TV. Some of the effects were just like, okay. Which, I can get over because it's their first episode and whatever, they might not have had all the money they wanted. for the first batch, but it was the writing that really got to me. Everyone's written kind of flat and bland.
Ew.
Like, Constantine is supposed to be this really colorful character, and I still don't understand why he can't smoke. Because he's got a lighter the whole time that he's playing with.
Yeah.
Which I guess is supposed to signify that he quit, or maybe he's just got
A habit?
or like he
An
likes fire or
itch?
something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But it's there. I guess maybe as a tribute to those people who want to see him smoke. I don't know. And
I feel like that's a worse almost.
yeah, 'cause
But like
it's
you're right there.
I could be doing this right now, but I'm not. But yeah, it's and the girl, I already forgot her name because she was so bland. But her writing is just, I couldn't even blame the actress because I was just like,
Wooden.
nobody could make this okay.
It's
Nobody,
wooden?
Yeah, it's very
Ugh.
wooden. It's very bland. Her powers are really cool. She can scry, like see,
Right.
like bad stuff that's gonna happen, and she can see dark spirits and all this stuff. And they're having, it's just a big exposition fest. But instead of doing show don't tell, it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking, which slows down the story. And like I found myself, okay, if I'm multitasking and doing other things while the show's going on, it's not good enough to hold my attention. Like I can't multitask while I'm watching Flash or while I'm watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like I'm just like glued the whole time.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in this. You don't know enough about like the extraneous characters. Like Chaz is like his sidekick who apparently can't die. He gets like stabbed through with a power line, and he still lives. So there's something going on with him. We don't know. And then there's this angel. Who that's what people's main complaint was, because his wings, they do look awful.
I'm sorry. I don't care
really
how much money you guys have. I have never seen good CGI wings. Especially like when people start flying and stuff, they do like the weird like they lift up like one leg, so it's kind of like bent, and they're like, "I'm flying." Okay.
Wasn't Angel in X-Men? Wasn't that one
Yeah.
pretty good?
Yeah.
I thought it was alright.
And Angel was pretty good.
But by that time, the
Legion-
X-Men movies
Legion was
had
pretty
like
good.
two different, but those are movies, like, and they had,
True, big budgets, yeah.
Yeah, but TV shows.
but yeah, it's like the only wings I've seen on TV was the awful. I think ABC Family did an Angel series once, and I saw the
Fallen.
wings of that one, and I saw the wings. Those were bad,
Yep.
and then these were a little better, but they weren't too much. Which I feel like Supernatural does this really interesting thing where you can't see the wings on the angels until they die, and then they're like black shadows on the ground.
That's
Which I feel like even if they can't,
interesting.
even while they're alive, they could be like shadowy or like just not super corporeal, like maybe humans can't see them or something.
Yeah.
I felt like they could have done. Also, he has these really annoying contacts so that you can't see his eyeballs. And that was kind of off.
What?
It's like, yeah, he's got these like yellow, bright yellow contacts, and it just threw you off. Anyway, like it didn't hit its stride, and it couldn't find its tone. But it wasn't. I'm saying all the bad things. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't. Like, it was okay.
It was
like,
a pilot episode.
Yeah, like, well, no.
It was an expositionary pilot
It
episode.
was an exposition episode.
Ew, okay.
And, like, because Constantine, you can tell the actor's really trying. You can tell he knows his whole show is riding on him, and he is trying his damnedest to get it to go. It's just kind of, it rolls. It doesn't take off, kind of a deal.
But again,
So-
that was the first
That was the
episode.
first episode.
Get like my opinion. If you don't like the first episode, give it 2 more episodes just to see if it grows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm planning on watching at least 3. I just need to get to it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you still haven't watched The Flash or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week.
I know.
But you need
I've
the
been
one.
having, I've
the
been
week
having
you don't-
TV problems. Okay.
And yet you could watch them on.
I know.
Hulu.
Let me have my
ABC.com.
excuses, okay?
The week you don't watch is the week that lots of things happen. We're bringing a whole new character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I knew that they were bringing her in.
And so, well, you still missed it.
Well, you know, we should move on.
Yes. Although we can mention for a moment how awesome Adrian Palicki is as Mockingbird.
Yeah. Awesome. If
She reminds you of somebody else in a certain scene in a certain movie, doesn't she?
Yeah, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's really great. That scene in the hallway. It's good stuff.
We're specifically not saying anything because Dan hasn't seen it.
Hi guys. Thanks.
But
But it was great, right? It's great.
it's awesome. And Fitz.
And her connections to people.
Yes. But Fitz.
But
Fitz. Now that I finally caught up, I can just talk about it nonstop. Because Fitz and Simmons, I can't.
yes.
It hurts. It just hurts too much. It just hurts too much. So.
The one episode.
Yep.
Yep.
The one episode I don't see.
You need to catch
Yep.
up.
Alright,
Real
alright.
Flash
Oh,
is
yes.
good too.
Flash is good. I cried again in this one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, I can see why.
It wasn't like like last time. It wasn't like Jesse L. Martin level of crying.
Yeah,
but it
true.
was like tear of.
True.
This
That's a
show.
good point.
This show.
So.
But yes, lots of good TV this week. And lots of.
Lots of
okay
good superhero TV this week, actually.
Mhm.
Gotham's finally hitting its stride.
It's finally
Gotham
starting to
had a
hit
good episode.
Gotham instead of Gordon. It's finally finding its place, I think.
Yeah, because we're seeing, we're seeing Penguin move his way up, and then we're also seeing how Wayne Enterprises may have had more to do with Bruce's parents' death than Maroni, like we originally thought.
Although that scene with Maroni was amazing.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
And then there was no Barbara in this episode, which was great.
Which was why it was such a great episode.
So
There were no weak points anywhere.
she's got to be out of the apartment, we assume.
Maybe working.
She got a job.
Maybe she got the job
Yeah.
that we wanted her to get a while ago.
So.
Even though she's had one, she just doesn't go to it ever.
But yeah, I love how they're actually kind of introducing Bruce to this detective world. Like I thought that was really smart of them. I know people in the beginning were complaining, "Oh, I don't want to see Batman grow up." I'm like, he's an integral part of the society, and they're really showing how he's getting interested in the corporation. Because when Batman starts, it was after he left as a CEO. He still has to get to the point where he decides to become a CEO.
And that's the interesting thing that I didn't think about is Bruce isn't just a window into Batman, he's a window into Wayne Enterprises,
Yes.
which I didn't even think about until this episode when I was like, oh, this is actually it's a really good thing that he's being a detective and interested in all this stuff, because he's our way in, which is really great. So they're building up, and I think next episode is about Bullock, which is what we're all waiting for, is to find out why Bullock's so lazy and why Bullock is just so beaten down by the world. So.
Okay, good, because I want to see that. So
I think it's at least going to start us on
Yeah.
what happened with
The
that.
Bullock path.
And then we're finally figuring out what Fish Mooney's doing, and because I was kind of waiting for that. Yeah.
Because nobody knows who she is or what she's doing.
Yep.
Well, I guess.
Well, she's
seducing. What's his name?
Falcone.
Yeah.
Yep. Because at least she's getting an opening because she's doing things that are similar to his mom.
Which is creepy.
I think it's just in the sense where it's like she has certain aspects, not actually being his mom, but like having aspects of his mother, like the music. So we'll see what happens there. That's slowly getting better as you said, as it learns, and it's about Gotham. Like the title's Gotham, it's not Gordon. So.
And then Felicity Smoke is going to be on Flash this week. Yeah. At the end of the episode of Arrow this week, she said she's going to visit her friend in Central City, who just woke up from a coma. So she's going to be in that, which I'm like...
I'm excited.
Felicity makes everything better no matter where she goes, and Flash has already been so phenomenal that just having her on it is just going to make best episode so far. I am predicting.
All right, well, good.
Great.
Well, all right. Well, speaking of best things ever... Super Smash Brothers.
Oh my god.
Nintendo had their Nintendo Direct this past Friday, and they had 50 must-see things for the new Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U.
We're not going to cover all 50.
We're not going to cover all 50, even though there's 53. But we're not going to cover all those. We're covering the main ones that are really important. And it's going to be so Game of the Year. It's going to be Game of the Year. I'm calling it right
I would
now.
not be surprised.
So, first big news.
Oh my god.
8-player Smash. We're going to have 8 players on the Wii U version. You can play up to 8 people. That could be 8 GameCube controllers. That could be 1 gamepad and like 7 Wiimotes. That could be the gamepad and like the Pro controllers.
And the 3DS.
And then
You can use up to... I think 8 3DSs, as long as you all are synced to a Wii U and you all have a copy of the game.
Yeah. But it's only for select stages, but still, 8 players.
8 player, well, okay. You make it sound like it's only for like 3.
It's for like 10?
It's for like 10 or 11 stages, which are huge. They have
Yeah.
Palutena's Temple, which is, kind of reminds you of like if you reverse,
Temple.
if you like took it and you like turned it around, that's what it reminds me of.
Okay.
Temple is back. That's also another one of the maps. Bridge of Eldon is another one that you're going to use. It's going to be so great.
Final Destination.
Final Destination, new battlefield. They made a larger battlefield.
Final Destination, 8 players, all Fox.
Yep.
No items.
Yep. No items. No items, all Fox, 8-player, stock.
Oh.
Go.
And the game lasts for 2 hours.
Yep. It's going to be so cool. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be ridiculous, but that may be the point.
Yeah, no,
Because-
it's going to be the ultimate party game. Like, it's just adding on to everything that it can be and will be.
It's going to be super cool. I can't wait for it.
It's Super Smash.
And you can use the gamepad for it, and the gamepad also does a lot of things that we'll cover in a few seconds. The other big thing, Ridley is not a playable character. So, Ridley is actually going to be in one of the stages. He's going to be an NPC that will actually attack you. He's going to be a boss on the stage. He's going to attack you, and you can attack him, and he'll actually join your side.
Yeah.
You can KO him and get points for that in, like, time stock or time, things like that. And he'll fight with you, he'll fight against you. So, it may not be what everyone was hoping it would be, but at least Ridley is still in the game.
Yeah, that's still pretty cool that you
So-
can make it fight for you.
Sorry, Smash fans, it's probably not going to happen. Maybe in the next one. I don't know. I don't know if they'd ever do
I still
that.
think he's a big character.
I still like him as a big character. I think having him be too tiny is it's just ridiculous. Even though Olimar's smaller,
Yeah.
but that's not the point. I can believe that more like him. Like I don't know. The dimension would be really weird because he's got his long tail, he's got his long wings. Olimar is just small. You just make him bigger. Everything's pretty much the same. Ridley's like he's got this tiny tail, like this tiny wings.
I mean, literally, you basically take Charizard's format and turn it into Ridley, which would look kind of weird.
Pretty much, that would. So, you know. But Ridley's going to be in the game, so that's huge. That's a big thing that everybody's been waiting for an announcement for. Let me see. Classic mode. Classic mode, if you play the 3DS version, you follow a path, and then you get to choose where you go on that, and then you fight, like, the opponent that's there.
Yes.
It's going to be different from this. Classic mode, you're going to be on, like, a table, and you're actually going to have a rival and challengers in it, and then you
really cool.
and then you have to fight these groups of people, and the more you fight, the more points you get, the more rewards you win, and you have to beat your challenger, things like that. So it's a new spin on it, which is really cool. And along,
Interested to see how that goes.
I'm interested in that too, because along in classic mode, you know, we've got Master Hand, and we've got Master Fortress now.
Yes.
So, okay, so let me break this down for everyone that has not played in the 3DS version. Usually you just have Master Hand, and you just fight, and then you just kill things, and then Master Hand just like goes up. In this version, we have Master Hand and Crazy Hand, who then turn into Master Head, which is essentially this giant guy, and he'll like pick up the stage, he stands on the side of it, and he'll like punch you and lift you up and things like that, who turns into Master Hound, who's this giant dog, who then turns into
Master Swords?
Master
Or
Blades?
Blades?
Master Blade? I don't know. He turns into these swords, and then you have to attack that, and then he turns into a dark clone of you, and then you have to beat that, and then after you beat that, then you have Master Core, and then you have to just... It doesn't attack you.
Just hit it.
You just hit it a bunch of times, and then you hit it off the stage, and then you win. So apparently Master Fortress, once you beat that, I think, Master Fortress appears, and it's essentially its own level, and you have to get to the center of it to destroy Master Core, I guess. Maybe that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's this whole new dynamic to it. We don't really know how it's going to work. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, Master Fortress is going to be crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. Especially it has the, what are they, the fire panels that were mentioned in the Kirby.
Oh, yes, that's a whole nother stage. It's a whole nother stage. It's basically like, I can't remember what it's called. It's like Grand Arena or like Grand...
I don't remember. I just remembered Kirby stage thing. Those were the words that I used.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you.
I try and help.
So they have a level based off of another level from Kirby. I think it's Kirby's Dream Land. And you fight inside of it, and it's got these danger zones all over the place, like magma, spikes, energy, dark energy.
Something
and
like
so when you hit an opponent into that, they'll take damage, and if you hit them into it when they're above 100%, they get KO'd immediately. They just disappear. So that's gonna be a whole new dynamic for
It's
the.
you falling in the background.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it.
Also, whenever I hear Dark Clone, all I can think of is Nega Scott.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim. Nigga Scott. All right. I'll see you later. See ya. Bye.
Oh, and it's okay. We're gonna have brunch on Tuesday.
Yeah. So that's a whole new dynamic, and that's gonna be a whole lot of fun to play.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm gonna want to play that a bunch because you can literally just throw them into it. Just pick them up, throw them up,
And
and then they get KO'd.
it's beautiful.
So it seems like it's gonna be a lot of trolling on that stage too. So that's gonna be great. Let me see, Master Fortress Smash Tour. So Amazon leaked earlier this week that they're gonna have some kind of board game mode in Smash and the new one, and so they talked about it. Essentially, you're on this set track. It's got multiple tracks. It's like this giant circle. You've got rings inside of it that you can go to and from, and you play as a Mii. So when you do that, you have to go along and you collect different power-ups, like raise your speed, your strength, your arms.
Just like in
Special.
Smash Run.
Like in Smash Run. And so as you move along the path, you try and get more characters. And if you land on the same spot as another person playing, you fight each other. And whoever wins takes one of your characters. And at the end of the match, you fight, and essentially your fighters are your stock. So the more fighters you have, the greater chance you have of winning. So you fight with those fighters. So it could be interesting. Right now, it seems like it's going to be either really interesting or really lame.
I feel like it'll be fun to do as like a group of friends.
I think it'd be fun to do as like a party thing. Yeah.
But like, I don't think I'll be like on a solo day and I'll be like, you know what? I want to play Smash Tour with computers.
Yeah, I really only
It feels like Mario Party, but the Smash Bros.
It is. It's Mario Party meets Smash Run.
essentially, which we're hoping to do with the amiibos. Speaking of which, new talk for the amiibos. When the amiibos are released, you have to scan them into your system, and you give them a name, and then every time you play match with them, it'll save it, and you can unlock treasures and new items and new things like that by playing matches with them, against them, and you get more treasure, actually, by bringing them to another Wii U and scanning them in. So it's like you're visiting their system, and it's
so cool.
It's gonna be cool. I'm so excited for it. I just want my Fox McCloud amiibo right now because I have no Fox McCloud action figures ever. One day I'm gonna have a model of the Great Fox and an Arwing. One day I'll pay someone to build it for me. It'll happen.
If you build models, John is willing to pay.
If you build it, I will come. So amiibos are going to be really interesting. We're still waiting to see how exactly they're going to work outside of Smash and with Mario Kart or with Mario Party. We did learn that the Link amiibo is going to work with Hyrule Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Hyrule Warriors is already out. We don't know how it's going to work, but it is going to work with it. So, we'll find out. Maybe we'll get more treasure if you go to that and then you bring it back.
Maybe.
That'd be one cool way to do it, because we have stuff for Toad's Treasure Tracker.
That's true.
So, maybe we'll get a lot of treasure in that game. So, we'll update you with more on that as we find out. Let me see. Diddle-doo-doo. Ah, yes! How could we forget this one? Mewtwo is coming back. Mewtwo was officially announced.
If.
No, there's no if.
If you have the 3DS and the...
It's free.
Yes.
Dan, you're getting...
I know.
You're getting...
I'm really excited about
I get it. We've been waiting for this for a while. So, Mewtwo is going to come back. He's coming back in the spring. So, if you have the Nintendo 3DS game and the Wii U version, you get Mewtwo for free. If you only have one or the other, you'll be able to download him, but you'll have to pay a little bit, which I understand. So, he's going to come back. We're going to see what he's got. We don't know his moveset yet. We just know what his design looks like. He looks pretty much just like how he did in Melee. And everyone's freaking out because everyone wanted him to come back.
Yeah.
And that's exciting because if he's coming in spring, he's going to be a downloadable character. So, does that open the door for DLC in the future? That would be great.
I think it does,
Because
John.
then, thank you, Dan.
I think it does.
Because then that means they can work on more players. I want Crystal from Star Fox. They keep trying to get a new Star Fox character, and they tried with Wolf. and that one didn't really work. They took him out. They still have Falco, but they want to put another one in there.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend Crystal because she's got the staff.
Mhm.
That would be really cool. Like she can also shoot from the staff,
Right.
so it could be a really cool dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And we always want Isaac. We've
Isaac.
been talking about that. For
I
a while.
want Rayman. That's not gonna happen until like the next one.
Slippy the Toad.
No one wants Slippy. No one wants. And by the way, it's Slippy Toad. So
Whoa.
just saying, Dad.
Back up there, Dan.
Back off.
Daisy
Back
would
up.
actually be a really cool addition. I don't know how they would do her because I know I was talking to somebody and they're like, I wish they did like Daisy from like Mario Strikers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that'd be cool.
That'd be
Just a
interesting.
brawler, just
Yeah.
And like kicking, when she's got the soccer ball. That'd be interesting. She's already in the game though, as an alternate skin for Peach.
But it's not okay.
It's not
When I
Daisy.
hear alternate skins, I think of what they did with Bowser and the Koopalings.
Yeah.
I don't think of, oh, that looks like Daisy, that's an alternate skin.
Well, I hear you, but that's a reason why they may not put Daisy in. Is
Yeah.
because it's like she's already in
You
there.
already got that. You
Kind of
don't
like
need
how Wolf is already in the game by
Yeah.
being an alternate Fox skin.
Which I would have preferred they got rid of Falco and kept Wolf, personally, because Wolf was different than Fox.
Oh.
it. Yeah, Falco is pretty much the same moveset.
I like Falco. I like Falco.
Do you like
Alex
Falco
is-
because you like Falco, or do you like him because you like his moveset differently than you like Fox's moveset?
I just didn't like Wolf. I didn't like his design. He was really. I mean, he had a different moveset, but he was very similar.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you say, he still had the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think since Falco's there first, he's more well known than Wolf is. It makes sense.
I'll give you that.
Alex behind the camera is giving me a thumbs up and shaking his head. So take that, guys. Take that. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. That's Alex, Tessa's brother. So
Yeah, he only likes it because he can destroy everyone with Falco.
so we're having a Smash tournament after this. We're getting some pizza. It's gonna be awesome. So yep. So it's gonna be really great.
Yeah.
We'll let you know who wins that one too.
Alex.
So that's the main stuff we've heard. Oh, the gamepad. I almost forgot. The gamepad, you can use it in different ways. Obviously, you could just play it on the gamepad. You can also use it to display the damage
Yeah.
of the 4 players, or the 8 players, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You can also use that to take pictures. You can set things up, like set trophies up, things like that. The big thing, Stage Builder.
Oh my god, it looks so much
Stage
different.
Builder is going to be the same as Brawl, but also different. It's going to have the same
Better.
aspects. It's going to be better because you use the gamepad. You'll actually be able to draw your designs on there. Like they showed maps of the old 2D
That's
Mario, and
insane.
he looked like they had the Master Sword map where it was just like the Master Sword. They had it designed, and people were fighting down it on the slope. So you actually draw it, and then it takes the shape of it in the game. So it's going to be really cool. So you can build these like giant winding maps.
And they even showed like they were just scribbling everything, and it still made a map because you don't necessarily have to have the flat planes. It's not like we'll connect point A to point B. No, you're literally just drawing, and whatever you draw as a closed object is created.
Exactly. So it's going to be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's all we know it does so far, aside from you scan your amiibo into it.
Yes.
But it's going to be really great for a stage builder. We're going to see a lot of creative designs. I forgot who I was talking to the other day, but it was like, oh yeah, I usually draw it. Oh, it was our friend Max Kuchenreuter.
Oh.
So he was like, oh yeah, I usually feel like when I can draw things, like I'm really good, and then I see the people that draw them online, and I'm like, well, I'm never using this ever again. Oh, that's a big thing. Drawing for pictures, you can actually, if they almost have like Nintendo Paint in there, so you can actually draw things along with it. Like somebody drew Mario with like angel wings, and he's like flying. So it's going to be really cool. A great way to incorporate the gamepad, so we'll see what they do with that. So that is all the main Super Smash news. Huge stuff.
Lots of stuff.
It's going to be great. Still coming out on November 21st. Go reserve it while you can. Go get the GameCube controllers. I need to pick some more up.
Yeah.
Especially if it's 8 players. My God.
Just bring your own controller games.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
1-8 players, bring your own controller.
Yeah.
bam. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So that being said, on to our Super Fight. Speaking
Super
of fighting,
Fight.
Super Fight, or I guess our, what did you call it? Super Smackdowns?
Well, no, it's Super Fight Fridays because we moved it to Friday.
It is Super Fight Fridays.
Yeah.
So, this Super Fight Friday, Super Fight Friday, not Super Fright Friday. That's next week.
You're doing great.
We've got...
We have Bane from the DC Universe versus Beast, the X-Men from the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
Now, these are both very, very strong characters, very agile, very smart, pitted against each other. I know we had some people respond on our Facebook, so we'll go ahead and read those off first. I see you have them ready, John.
I am at the ready. JD Kite said, "This is like one of the hardest things ever. My favorite hero is one of my favorite villains, or verse one of my favorite villains, and I like them for the same reason. I hate to say it, because Hank is awesome, but Bane likely wins. He's not as burdened by morals. Also, as the villain, he's probably the instigator, which gives him the advantage of preparation."
Which I love the fact that he created a scenario for this. Because, like, when I originally thought of these, like, there's like, okay, cool. Just person in a room, they fight, who wins? And I love the fact that he went so in depth. It's like, well, Bane is a villain, so he would probably go after this. This would be the... Like, because Hank doesn't do that.
No, Hank.
If Hank is there and has to fight, he will.
In the corner reading.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hank's not going to go out and find... He's not going to actively look for someone. So...
And, like, I feel like even though... I mean, Bane is intelligent, like you were saying. There's a lot of misconception that Bane's stupid, but he never has been. He is intelligent, but I feel like Hank is intelligent and creative. I feel like it would be really close. Like, they would definitely destroy each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hank would end up being the winner in the end, just because he always seems to pull out this thing at the last minute. It's like, oh, just do blah, 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 and then suddenly everything magically goes okay.
Yeah, no, my vote also lies with Hank. Just the agility, I think, would outweigh Bane's strength. Because Bane is really strong. And even when he does his Venom Serum, he gets really fast as well. But Beast is always at that.
Yeah.
So if he has a way, Bane would probably... Or not Bane, Beast would go away to either like cut the Venom injectors depending on which Bane you're using. If he has like the big wires, then yeah, that's a given that Beast will win. But I don't know, I feel like Beast would be creative enough to try and kind of avoid the fight while the serum or the venom was inside of Bane, and then take his shots when he got the moment. But that's a personal thing. John, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about these two, to be honest with you. I'm not huge on X-Men or actually Batman, for that matter. I'm trying to read through Batman Eternal, but
John just really likes
progress.
Martian Manhunter.
I love Martian Manhunter. That's not the point, though. The point. I don't know. If Beast got on Bane's shoulders, though, would he be able to like grab on him, like literally throw him?
Yeah,
across him?
definitely.
I don't know then, because then it's gonna be tough to get this. Well, I don't know.
And I don't think you'd throw him. I think you'd smash him on the ground.
So are we doing this as they just are in a room and they fight?
Just put him in a room and fight.
How big is the room?
John, use your imagination. I believe in you.
No, I mean like how big is the room? Because if it's a smaller room,
You choose.
That's dumb. That's dumb because if it's a smaller room, then you have to give it to Beast because I feel like he's just gonna like bounce all over the place. But if it's a larger room, I feel like Bane has the advantage.
Well, he still could claw into the walls and climb all over the place and hang upside down.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Beast can also get away. Like he can like
True.
climb up the walls and get away for a little bit. Whereas Bane is, I mean, I'm sure he can jump, but
Although I still feel like if Bane gets in one good hit, Beast is down.
it depends on where it is.
True.
Because
So
Beast has always also got like strength, enhanced strength.
yeah.
You can give it to Bane. It'll be okay, John.
I don't know. I'm gonna reserve my judgment for this one.
Okay.
America wins. America wins this one. So
But yeah, make sure you check in on our Facebooks on Friday. Make sure you post, comment, all of that fun stuff.
all right, fine. I'll say Beast. Fine, I'll say Beast. I think it's just gonna be too agile. Although I really want to say Bane, but I'll say Beast.
Okay.
There. Comment. We're gonna have a new one every Friday. If you have one that you want us to do, tell us. We'll do it. Just comment on it. Let us know who you think will win. Every Friday. We should probably try and have a Halloween one for Friday.
Yeah, it'll be
Since Friday is literally gonna be Halloween.
Super Fight Fright Friday.
Super Fright Day. Super Fright Friday. That's so tough.
Just let's move on.
Super Fright Friday.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Yes.
Carrying on.
We'll probably have horror, like
horror characters.
Alien vs Predator. Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason.
No, I like Michael Myers or somebody else.
We'll come up with something. Just keep posted.
Yeah. So.
Or tell us who you'd like to see.
Yeah.
So let me see. Now we have recommendations. Do you have any recommendations? Because I.
Please read this because it's amazing.
Bodies again. Oh, by the way, while we're talking about comics, a moment of silence for She-Hulk. She-Hulk is canceled. In case you didn't see that, a moment of silence.
Upsetting.
Yep.
But
So.
maybe they're.
Would
I
you
don't
have
know
thought?
if this is a good thing or not, but maybe they're canceling her to replace her with Squirrel Girl.
Maybe. Would you have
That's
thought
true.
that She-Hulk would have been canceled before Storm?
Yes, only because She-Hulk's been running longer,
Okay.
and she hasn't been like Storm has been getting a more steady following because there wasn't a lot of publication that her series was coming out at all. And as people have found out about it, especially like readers, like there's a lot of like female readers of color who got excited when they like, I would be like, oh yeah, Storm has her own comic, and they didn't even know, and they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, and I would show them over. So now that she's starting to get a little bit of steam, not like a whole bunch, but She-Hulk, it's just one of those where she had a good comic, but again, I think we're in the economy where you can't just read good comics, you have to read the great ones too.
Right.
Like we're all poor and we have barely any time on our hands, so you read the ones that you like absolutely love, and the rest of them just kind of
I can see
fall
that.
by the wayside.
Gotcha.
So, do you have any recommendations?
I do. Read Lock and Key by Joe Hill. That's what it was. It's phenomenal. It's a 10-volume series. I've read the first one. Rumors are going around about them making a movie about it. Please check it out. It's a really great read.
Oh, also Copperhead is officially amazing, so you should read that too.
Copperhead?
Copperhead had its second issue.
Alright.
It's really good.
So we got another recommendation for Copperhead. So, well, I'm going to actually recommend music. We talked about this before the show. I was going to recommend music.
Okay.
So, I have my favorite band, Jukebox a Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
So they actually just came out with a brand new album. It's self-titled. So it's been featured on Rolling Stone now, MTV, NPR. It's been slowly getting more eyes, more ears to it. They're really great. I don't want to say alternative indie.
Alternative rock? Indie rock?
I don't think they're alternative rock. I think they're alternative indie. Because I mean they've got like drones, but they don't really use a whole lot of guitars. No. They're more like pianos and synthesizers.
And they do guitar, drum, and piano.
Yes.
Which is an interesting combination, and it's only 3 people. All of the singers play instruments, and it sounds beautiful. Check it out.
Yep. Please check it out.
And question as well.
Yes.
Oh, and one more thing. The Book of Life is awesome, and you should go see it because it's beautiful.
You saw it?
I did see it. It's absolutely gorgeous. The animation is amazing, and the story is good, and it surprised me in a couple places because with certain stories like that, when you get older, you kind of know where the story's going to go because it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of parts where it still surprised me, and it was really good. And the animation's so unique and wonderful.
And that's got Zoe Saldana, so if you like Zoe Saldana, go see that one too.
Yeah.
So, and then we have a question.
Yes. We were also asked a question about Star Wars. Who brought balance to the Force? Was it Anakin Skywalker or was it Luke Skywalker? What do you guys think?
Oh, I thought you were asking them.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I want their opinions as well, but I'm directly asking you guys now.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first. You seem really excited about this.
Yeah, because I know I'm right.
The gauntlet has been
I'll get my Neil deGrasse Tyson pose. So.
I know. I think Anakin does, as much as it kills me to say that.
Why, Tessa?
Well, I think he does it. I can argue that it was twice, if not like a full, complete process, because the Jedi were really powerful and the Sith were really weak, and he broke down the Jedi and brought up the Sith, and then he ends up breaking down the Sith so they're pretty much at the same level. He brings true balance to the Force on both sides. So, because he's the one who actually throws Emperor Palpatine into the core of the ship and kills him.
The giant pit that kills all Sith.
Exactly.
No.
The pit of Sith death, killing things. Yes.
Well, I will argue against you just for the sake of arguing. I think it's Luke, because without Luke being there, Vader would not have killed the Emperor, and the balance would not have been restored.
And I agree that he helped, but I don't think he ultimately...
I mean, my argument for you, John, is don't you think Leia could have done the same?
No.
If there was no Luke, do you not think that Leia would have followed that path?
No.
Well, I do.
Because
I pick Anakin as well.
Because Leia was on Alderaan, and Leia was not on Tatooine, where Obi-Wan was.
Right, but we don't know what would have happened if they didn't have twins. We do not know where she would have gone.
See, now that's just a lot of spending.
That's
a lot of what if, Dan.
I like with her. Also, I feel like Leia wouldn't put up with that crap either.
No.
She's just kind of like, she'd be like, "Fine, you want to be a jerk? I'll shoot you, and you'll just be dead, baby.
Yeah,
I don't care
that's
who you
true.
are." So I feel like Luke was like the sentimental, hopeful one who would try and fix things, where Leia was just like.
So no, I honestly believe that it was Anakin, and as much as I hate to say it, the episodes 1, 2, and 3 were essential in really pushing the fact that Anakin was the one that brought balance to the Force. Because if you just watch 4, 5, and 6, yeah, it was Luke all the way. But if you see the backstory about how everything got built up, that he did bring down the Jedi, and then he did bring down the Sith because he was the one that decided to put Palpatine in the hole, whereas Luke would have died.
Well, Luke was just asking him to stop the Emperor. He didn't ask him to kill him.
Exactly, and then he was like, "No, this is what has to be done," and then he does. He brings balance to the Force.
Maybe it's both. Maybe they both restore it.
I don't think so.
Agree to disagree and carry on.
Are you gonna bring a whole lot of what ifs at me, Dan?
No. This time it's literally just the facts of the movie.
Oh, really? Because Luke Skywalker, like we just said, if he's not there, Alex is in the background again. So, but if Luke isn't there, that thing never happens.
We let the viewers decide, John.
You break it.
Vote both.
Don't vote both. Pick one.
Vote.
We'll set up a poll. We can do polls.
Yeah, we'll
set
polls.
up a poll.
We can do both. Why can't it be an option?
It'll be an option. Both can be an option.
Both can be an option, Dan.
But it's really Anakin that brought balance to the Force.
Brought it back. Because then we're talking about balance of the Force, and you have to go back to Darth Revan and Knights of the Old Republic. So...
What does that have to do with him bringing balance to the Force?
Because you can bring balance to the Force in that game. You can either be bad and then kill all the Jedi, or you can be good.
I think we're going into what ifs again.
Oh, I know. I'm doing it to annoy Dan.
It's not working, John.
Bringing it back.
Uh-huh. Alright, so that is our question. I think it's both. I think there's a valid point to be said for both. It was Han Solo.
Han Solo brought balance.
Han Solo did it. He did it. Han Solo. It was Harrison Ford with all his swagger.
With the candlestick in the Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Alright, well this episode, we just need to go because this episode's a wash now. So, no Firefly jokes. So that being said, we're at 983 likes. We're very happy about that. We're very close to 1,000. Like we said, when we hit 1,000, we'll let you guys decide relatively what we do for that, as long as it's PG rated.
But we might actually do a poll for that too. If we get multiple people telling us what they would want to see, we might do a poll for that and see what people want to see the most.
So thank you so much for that. Like our stuff, comment on it, share our page. I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna do something for next week's episode since it's Halloween. Even though by the time it debuts, it'll be past Halloween. We'll be filming it pretty much on Halloween.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So get ready for it. If you have anything for us, let us know. Send us a message. Comment on our wall. That being said, I think that's pretty much it.
Sounds good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for episode 10 of Nerds in the Box. Is it really episode 10?
Yes.
It is. All right. Thank you for joining us for episode 10. Take care, everyone. I'm John Dwyer.
Dan Kiefer.
Tessa Barlotta.
We're Nerds in a Box. Good night, everyone. Alex, open the window so we don't die.
I'm dying.
Who's got nerds? Not one but three.